Well, called it from the jump. Wild cards would wreak havoc in this event, and they sure have. Wow, some tense, stressful moments, but guess what? That's over. Now it's time to express ourselves. This is going to be fun. This is Quiksilver's Icons of Surf Super Session. Chris Cote here with Kale Carranza. And this is basically a surfer's dream. We have some incredible iconic craft about to hit the water, ridden by some of the world's best unique surfers. So this is all about good times. There is some cash on the line. And of course, I would say the biggest prize is the winner of this expression session gets to pick whatever board they want out of this quiver that is pure magic, Kale.
Yeah, and I think Barra de la Cruz is a perfect wave for these boards. You have incredible boards, and then you have a different array of surfers. We have Caroline Marks, for example. We got Mikey right on the other side. So it's going to be a different approach, not only of what the boards can let these surfers do, but what the surfers themselves can do on this wave.
That's right. Well, we did make the surfers wrestle for first pick of the board. Actually, no, we just picked it out of a lottery. You know what? Let's throw it down to Kai Pucarero to find out what's happening with this Icons of Surf expression session.
All right, so here we go. We got Ryan Callahan's going to be riding the Simon Anderson 81 thruster. We got Mikey Wright. He's going to be on the 2009 Andy Irons JS model. Steph, she's going to be on the 1980 MR twin fin. Leah's going to be on the Bonzer Brothers Bonzer. Caroline Marks is going to be on the Jerry Lopez Pipeliner. Owen Wright is going to be on the Dumpster Diver from Channel Islands. What else do we got over here? I think we got another board. And we got Tati. She's Black Beauty. Tati's going to be on the Black Beauty right here. Yeah, and that's Tati right over there. She's going to be in the pink jersey. And then
hi guys.
Someone's going to be on this 5'5", 19 1/4 fish. Mateus. Oh, I thought it was going to be me. Okay, no, Mateus Hurdy is going to be on this 5'5", 19 1/4 fish, and Mateus is just going to take a victory lap out there just because he just earned his way into the round of 16. That's what's going on, Chris.
Well, this is going to be awesome. What a way to end the day here on day 2 of the Corona Open Mexico, presented by Quiksilver. An incredible collection of boards ridden by an equally incredible selection of surfers.
I'm sure Kaipo would have loved for Mateus to say, I'm too tired, I don't want to do it. Kaipo's been talking about this event for the last 48 hours.
Well, you can tell by the smiles on these surfers' faces, they're ready to have a good time. And we're going to see some unique approaches. I would not doubt to see some board exchanges. There really are not many rules in this event.
What are you looking forward to seeing most? Because we know that the surfers that are used to surfing those thrusters, like Mikey Wright, is going to most likely have very similar surfing to what he usually does in the water. But look at Caroline Marks and that Jerry single fin.
I mean, for me, Caroline Marks on the single fin is something I never thought I would see. And what I have seen before, Steph Gilmore on a twin fin, she has cited that as one of her favorite board setups of all time. So that one we've seen before. I've never seen Caroline Marks on a Lightning Bolt single fin. That board shaped, of course, or designed by Jerry Lopez, helped by his son in the shaping of the board, Alex Lopez.
Yep. Is the key.
Tatiana Weston-Webb on the Black Beauty, made famous by Tom Curran. Is that sacrilegious to have a goofy footer on a Black Beauty? Is there some rules against that?
Well, she's a little bit late to the party, waxing her board up as other competitors are walking up the point. Now, priority, will it come into play? Gentlemen's rules?
No, there are no rules.
It's a free-for-all.
I mean, I'm trying to look at the rule book, and it's gone. We do know a few things. This will be a judged event. We have 2 celebrity judges in the house, some locals. Alan Robledo and Jose Ramirez are beach announcers who have been crushing it for the past 2 days, working probably harder than anyone. They don't get breaks. There's just 2 of them up there, and they've been going nonstop, providing the information for our surfers in the water.
But they've been hearing what the judges throw at the waves that we've seen for the last 2 days of the event, so they know what a good wave is. Plus, Jose Ramirez Rito, for example, he is one of the best big wave chargers from Puerto Escondido. He's really comfortable surfing all types of waves. He knows what a big board feels like under his feet. And a single fin Jerry Lopez, I feel like he's going to be really looking at how Caroline Marks attacks these waves on that board.
Well, it's going to be fun to talk about the history of these boards. You saw Ryan Callanan running out there on a board that changed everything, changed the trajectory of surfing, the Simon Anderson thruster.
I wonder if those guys are going to get a half a point deducted for the fact that they didn't let the ladies take the motorcycle up the point. Chivalry.
Possibly. Now, I've never seen Owen Wright on a dumpster diver. This is going to be rad. Mikey Wright on probably a sentimental favorite for everybody. That is a replica of the board Andy Irons won to win this event. You see running out there Leah Dawson, an incredible surfer from the North Shore of Oahu. And then she'll ride any craft and make it look so beautiful. She is so talented. Watch any of the videos that she's put out, and you'll see why she was thrown in there with some of the world's best.
Many ladies that come down to take surf lessons and guiding up in my hometown of Sayulita actually follow Leah and love her surfing.
Oh, yeah. No, she's a hero.
She is an absolute hero. She rides all sorts of different equipment, so I feel like she may have the upper hand. She knows what a twin fin feels like. She knows what a single fin feels like. And, well, as we see the ladies opting to potentially paddle out through, Tati having a little bit of an issue there with the set coming in. It is not easy right now to make it out the back here at Barra.
Mikey wants the jet ski assist. So here there are some rules. Very few rules, but there are some.
Okay.
We've got 8 surfers, 4 men, 2 women, I think. Maybe more like 3 women. They'll be riding iconic boards shaped by the world's best shapers. Winners are judged based on overall performance. So it's not best 2 wave counts. It's none of that stuff. It's overall vibe.
Does a party wave get double points?
Definitely. The winners, 1 male, 1 female, will get $5,000 each.
What?
And the 5K, that's awesome, of course. But more importantly, you win this heat right here, you get to pick out of these boards. Callie, what board would you pick? And everybody out there, please tell us on social media, hashtag WSL. Tag us. Tell us which surfboard you would pick. This is one of the hardest choices you'll ever have to make.
Easy for me, Chris.
Go ahead.
Jerry Lopez.
Okay.
That board not only is iconic, but it also looks really pretty on your wall.
On your wall.
You'd use it, but you wouldn't store it in your garage. You'd
right,
put
okay.
it up in the,
Good call.
in the living room in full display.
Good call. Good call. It's on the wall, but it's still waxed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wax in so you can't see the wax.
Okay. Wax in. You got to see that lightning bolt down.
Yeah.
Yes. And here we go. So we're going to have 40 minutes on the clock. Our surfers will not have any kind of priority in the lineup. I'm sure they're going to be going gentlemen and gentlewomen's rules.
Is that Strider out the back?
Strider's just going to be commentating from the front row seat. This is not the surf ranch. Strider doesn't get to ride all these waves. Mikey Wright's up first on the Andy Irons replica JS board that AI rode to victory in 2006.
You can really see how much narrower the board is. Oh, spray. Extra 0.25 on this wave for spraying someone.
Yeah, so just as your point there, take into consideration that these boards were very thin, tons of rocker, glass on fins.
Oh boy.
And Mikey Wright almost does the signature shout out AI double grab that won him that event. That right there was a Quiksilver iconic moment. Almost.
That was
so cool.
Awesome. That was so cool. I love it with surfers. We get to see the world's best having fun and surfing different boards. Ryan Callanan is another surfer that I'm really interested in seeing how he attacks these waves at Barra. Obviously, he's got that really cool whip, but now with a different surfboard under his feet, I feel like he's going to be a little bit more reserved in his approach.
He's riding a Simon Anderson thruster. Ooh. Couple nice turns there, sliding the fins. So the Simon Anderson thruster, initially conceived in October of 1980 after an encounter with fellow shaper Frank Williams. Simon Anderson won the 1981 Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach on his new invention, the thruster, basically proving the concept.
Oh, lay back.
That was so cool. Can we extend the time for this heat to 4 hours? As for the first time in history, we see Caroline Marks on a Jerry Lopez lightning bolt board.
Totally different, huh? You can see how she's used to digging that fin that's usually right next to the rail. This board only has a single fin right through the middle. back end of the surfboard. So the approach has to be different. And I feel like they gave her a board in which she's going to be at a disadvantage, going front side a little bit nicer to go on those single fins.
Well, Jerry Lopez created this board in the 1970s. This one shaped by his son, Alex. And that's who we were waiting for. Silvana Lima will go out on the most challenging board of the lot, but definitely the most impactful. This truly is one of the first surf crafts known to man.
Doesn't even have a leash plug anywhere, so she might be the only surfer out there without a leash. And she's been going so fast the entire competition. Now with a board that creates no drag, if she engages that rail, Chris, she's going to be going Mach 5 down the line.
And you know that Jose and Alan, our celebrity guest judges, will give her extra credit if she can make that board work. Have you ever tried to ride an Alaya?
I have.
It's hard.
It's so difficult.
It's real hard.
I got a chance to surf it. A good friend, Asher Pacey in Australia, lent me one. And well, it seems so easy to ride when you see those guys ride them, but with it having absolutely no rocker, taking off, just the simple fact of taking off on wave is really difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. So you see there, oh, that was an easy surfer to identify. Stephanie Gilmore.
No.
I feel like Stephanie Gilmore, if anyone surfs like MR, it's Stephanie Gilmore. You see the arms, and this is all shout outs right here from our surfers. Mateus Herdy on the 5.5, 19 and a quarter. Who could forget those measurements? Tom Curran is actually partly responsible for the creation of this board. Chris Ward saw him riding that infamous fireball fish in Hawaii. He called mayhem, ordered up a fish, and him, Andy Irons, Corey Lopez rode nothing but these 5.5, 19 and a quarters basically throughout an entire Hawaiian season. They made a whole movie about this board using the dimensions again. So this is probably the only surfboard in the world that is famous and is named with numbers, 5.5, 19 and a quarter.
And
it's also a movie.
I feel like it's the only surfboard that we know the measurements of by heart.
Oh yeah.
Like, how about the Black Beauty? What was that?
6.0 something.
How about the Jerry Lopez?
7 something.
And width?
19 and a quarter. We got Strider Wasilewski with a front row seat of the heat of the day.
It is the heat of the day. Steph said, come out here and get some waves. Callahan's on one right now. He's on the Simon Anderson, the original thruster model. Let's see what he does with it. Bango! Are you kidding me? He's feeling it out the back. You've even got Caroline Marks on the pipeliner. She's up into the lip. Are you kidding me on that big board? She's on fuego. Look at her. One of the best surfers in the world, making the old model and the old world look just like brand new. Oh my goodness, what a sick wave. You know what? It is awesome out here. And the waves are perfect, and it just started pumping for this heat, and everybody's very happy. And Mikey Wright said he's gonna make that board look as much like Dane Reynolds as he can. He's so psyched on being on his board. And out the back, Leia Doss, oh, with the head dip. Beautiful layback snap, tries to pull it out, gets sucked over. Leia, one of the best camera ladies in the world, and best surfers in the world. Are you kidding me? There's more fun going on in the lineup than there has been all day out here right now in this heat.
And I like it, Strider. You basically threw it on Stephanie Gilmore, saying she's giving you permission to catch waves.
I don't know about if that's a go or not, but she's like, come out here, get some.
We're getting word from HQ, it's a no-go.
I think it's a go.
But we'll join you after 35 minutes.
You're breaking up.
Oh, we lost Strider. Oh no, he must be trying to catch waves.
Hey, Strides.
Oh yeah, Caroline.
Strides.
That was sick.
What board would you pick?
I think I'd be on the pipeliner just to feel that like Lopez lineage. I mean, you saw Caroline just dialing that thing in. It looks beautiful. Oh, here comes our Cal. He's giving me to go out there and get one. He just said it. Go out there and get one.
But this is not a vote.
Oh, he said Caroline's going to tow him out because she's got so much board paddle.
We're talking about the pipeliner, Strider. This board was road to success in the Pipe Masters in 1972 and 73. And basically Jerry's quote about this surfboard says, the faster I go, the slower things seem to happen.
This is true. Time stops when you're in a barrel of pipeline. And I got a pipeliner from Jerry Lopez, and I love it. And, well, got a couple waves of pipeline on it. But out here, Caroline Marks is making the pipeliner look amazing. You saw her just flowing through turns, so beautiful work. Mateus Herde, he's on, looks like a fish. Is that the
5'5", 19 and a quarter.
5'5", 19 and a quarter. I love it. That's a mayhem model that's been made super famous by Chris Ward, Andy Irons, Bruce Irons, the whole crew, Corey Lopez, and he busts a huge frontside 3, tries to come out of it. He's exhausted, he said. He needed water. He was asking for anything from the ski, but we got nothing for him.
Well, back to the action in the water. This is Leah Dawson, complete water woman, known for riding multiple crafts, including her beloved Bonzers. Right there, pulling in for the inside tube.
Sick barrel.
You said Leah Dawson is, she's definitely, I would say, one of the most popular female surfers riding, you know, these retro crafts.
Oh, sick.
Tati on the Black Beauty on her back, and let's see what she can do. Wow, looking almost just as radical as her normal surfboard. You could see how and why Tom Curran did the surfing that he did. That was a beautiful cross step, Chris.
Yeah!
All these surfers changing their approach slightly, playing a little bit more with style.
Whoa. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see, you know, these boards kind of take these surfers taken out of their comfort zone. And obviously this is all for fun, but it's kind of cool to see them on something totally different.
As we see Owen, first wave ridden. Looks like he's on the dumpster diver, Chris, is that right? That is. Al Merrick's famous board model made famous by Dane Reynolds. But how about this? Little hair flick to take off. Didn't even have to look at the wave as she stood up. Clean carve. You see her arms a little bit Poto-esque as she was cutting back into that section. Fully disappeared inside the barrel. Comes out and another hair flip.
That was awesome. Double hair flip. So we've got 31 minutes still left on the clock. We're not judges, thankfully, because this would be a very tough heat to judge. But right now, I think the lead is either with Leah Dawson or Caroline Marks.
I just love that barrel from Leah. I think it is iconic. I think that is the way you're supposed to ride that surfboard.
Yeah, so that's another point. You know, these boards were meant, they were shaped to be ridden in a kind of a specific way. And it's another reason why it's kind of fun to see, you know, Caroline Marks trying vertical backside snaps on a pipeliner.
It'd be really cool to see if someone comes up with the idea of riding these boards, at least on one wave switch, as we see Steph Gilmore.
Steph Gilmore on the MR Twin. So Mark Richards shaped, glass, sprayed, and sanded the original MR Twin in 1980 before heading to some events in South Africa. Stephanie Gilmore has said in multiple interviews that this is basically her favorite type of board. The original MR Twin is in 3 pieces right now, and it's at home in Merriweather. It's one of the most popular retro boards on the market. You can still get these MR Twins. Mikey Wright riding the Andy Irons iconic board that won this event. I like that he's trying that double grab straight or 180 air.
Yeah, I really give credit to Mikey for surfing the board the way it was surfed by Andy Irons. That big air, for those of you that were lucky enough to see that event 16 years ago, in the final against Taylor Knox, one big double grab air, 6 feet up and above the lip. And Mikey Wright, a smaller version of that air, I would say, only maybe a foot or so over the lip.
Andy's was like 8 feet.
Yep. But hey, it counts as we see Silvana on the Alaya.
Oh, okay. You know what? That just right there, a glimpse of it tells me Silvana's messed around on one of these boards before.
She had to have.
It's almost it's a prerequisite, right? If you, it's the Rick Kane effect. You've got to ride all the boards. You've got to at least try everything once. Longboard, single fin, twin fin. 29 minutes to go here. We're going to take a quick break. Let this mad crew of surfers get back in position. We'll be right back with more action from the Quiksilver Icons of Surf. Welcome back to the Corona Open Mexico presented by Quiksilver. You're watching Joy Incarnate. This is the Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session. We have the most iconic surfboards you've ever seen in the lineup right now. These are recreations right down to the specific millimeter of how these boards were first created, but they're being ridden by a modern day crop of some of the world's best. This is Mikey Wright riding a JS that was basically made famous by Andy Irons here in 2006.
Yeah, he did that crazy arrow. See Mikey having a little bit of trouble. You can see how on this board,
Almost.
you have almost no margin for error. It's way narrower. It's much harder to surf. And Ryan, so smooth. I love how they've changed their approach a little bit when riding these boards, you know, focusing a little bit more on style, as you see.
That was awesome. Arcal layback. And this right here, I mean, this is going, you're just going to get beautiful surfing no matter what from Stephanie Gill. It's a little bit more, I don't know, there's just something a little bit smoothed out when she gets on a twin fin. It's poetry in motion. I'm very impressed with Caroline Marks on the pipeliner.
Oh yeah, the Jerry Lopez board made for perfect barrels. But Caroline taking it to Barra, top to bottom surfing, really cool. But you know what? You can see her. She's coming off the bottom. She's always smiling. You know, she's really enjoying being on such an iconic surfboard.
We're going to go back into the water. Strider Wasilewski is in the middle of the most epic surfboard party we've ever seen.
Pretty much. Everybody in the water is so happy. Their smiles ear to ear. They're just psyching. And, Mikey said he is going for that double grab and the lean out of it. He was like saying he wants to replicate the Andy Air. And Mike, his brother Owen, is talking about riding a board that's 5'5", and it's only, I think he said 26 liters. He usually rides about 31. So he's just all breaking down the numbers. But I do feel like Leah Dawson has shown me the sweetest, cleanest surfing I've seen so far. Just elegant, fun, barrels, having, just ear to ear.
We were just going to ask you, we're not judges. Let's just get that out of the way right now. But Strider, in your opinion, who's winning this heat so far?
I'd say it would be Leah. I love the way she's surfing. It's unbelievable. And Caroline Marks, and she's on fire actually on that pipeliner.
Who's got priority?
I did see the Alaya. Silvana Lima on the Alaya was pretty sweet. You got Tati just cracking lips on the inside of the Black Beauty. And then the original thruster coming at you right now. Look at this wave. Look at this surfer. Look at this surfboard. The jersey matches the board. That's the Simon Anderson original tri-fin grab rail cutback and out the back. Look at this thing. Mikey Wright's going to try and duplicate. Goes for the big gouge layback. He's coming out of it. Oh, he's still coming for it. He wants more. He's getting on the open face right here. Big gouge. Ooh, nice surfing right there. Oh, and he goes over the handlebars. Commentator's curse.
We had 23 minutes, 50 seconds ago. That Simon Anderson thruster, a board that changed everything. Simon never patented the thruster, instead saying, if I didn't come up with it right there, then, well, a lot of people at the time had been working on the same goal. So he says, I'm just fortunate and happy to contribute. Simon Anderson changed surfing forever. We would not be where we are today without Simon Anderson. And here goes Silvana Lima on easily the most difficult board to ride. I mean, probably by 10 times. If you've ever tried to ride a piece of wood crafted into an Alaya, you know exactly how tough that is. Meanwhile, Leah Dawson, I mean, this is her bread and butter. She's right at home on a beautiful Bonzer board like that with a Cheater 5 into the tube. Leah is so good at surfing.
She's so smooth. That board really looking good. It fits her surfing like a glove. Campbell brothers shaped this surfboard when they were 15 and 18 years old. Imagine that. It was considered the first standardized surfboard model to herald a tri-fin spin.
Oh, I like it.
And many are arguing that potentially the first board that used that double concave, giving it more speed and control.
Nice. Hey, Strider, we're talking about some of the normal rules of surfing heats. Are we looking at really friendly kind of competition out there? Is there any priority battles happening in the lineup?
Combat mode. But I think it's just fun. I think there's just a lot of flair in the lineup, and it really shows you the diversity in surfing and surfboards and everything that you can actually put under your feet And we're in a great era because all these boards are being ridden currently by all these different surfers all around the world. And everybody's loving riding new boards, twin fins, single fins, Bonzers, Alayas. I mean, I see it every day back where I surf. And I love to see the diversity. And right now we're seeing the world's best, or usually just on high performance surfboards, takeout boards that, you know, are challenging to ride, and having to change their style of surfing and change the way that they actually approach a wave. And it's a beautiful thing to watch because they all have great style. They all look really, you know, solid on their feet still, but they're having to change what they do. And that in itself is a pleasure, to have the adaptability to watch that dance change for them, because we see a lot of the same dance. Here's Harry kind of on a board that he would normally take out because he likes riding those kind of fish boards. Let's see what he does on the inside right here.
Mateus Hurdy on the 5.5, 19 1/4, goes to the layback, tries to spray Strider, who has to duck under the water. There is a lot of action coming in from this lineup. I think we should just rename the 20 from 2010 to 2020 the Ride Everything decade, because truly when you go to your local break, you see every kind of board, for better or for worse. You know, we see a lot of different crafts out there, and it's really cool to see the return of, you know, the mid-length, the egg, the thruster egg. You know, we do see a lot of kind of throwback boards that have just been tweaked a little bit to modernize them, but there is no tweaks to the shapes here. These are all shaped exactly how they would have been shaped in the era that they were made, Kelly.
Absolutely, and look at this live action out the back. Is this Mateus again, or was that Mikey Wright? Tati getting
Mikey
out
Wright.
of the way.
Let's see the double grab. Andy Irons would be proud to see Mikey Wright riding a board that he made famous at this very break.
Oh, grab rail cutty.
Building speed. Wow. So I think, even though the board looks very similar to what Mikey would ride normally, that's a great shot right there where you can see how much rocker is in these boards. What's the main difference between this JS, this Andy Irons model, to, say, the board that Mikey rode in his heat?
Well, there's a lot of difference in two aspects, especially. The width of the surfboard. That's how you think of the board that he's been riding here in the event. It's much wider. The wide point tends to be a little bit higher up on the nose of the board. This board from Andy Irons is way narrower, and one of the major differences is that it gives you no room for error. That's why Mikey, although he is surfing on a high-performance board, when he does some of those cutbacks, he's almost like digging his rail, losing speed. So you don't have that luxury of kind of having your feet almost in the right spot and still pulling through that maneuver. And the other one was a rocker.
Yeah.
The higher the rocker, the more scooped up the board is, which is very typical to 90s surfboards. It fits better in the barrel, really nice for a really curvy wave, but it doesn't generate the same speed as a board that's a little bit flatter.
I would say the biggest thing that shapers have done in the last 10 years have made boards very forgiving.
Yes.
You know, that's, all of us have enjoyed that aspect of modern surfboards, as we see now Silvana Lima trying to have a dig. And another thing about riding an Alaya, there's not a lot of flotation on that board. It's literally a piece of wood shaped with a wax over it to give it the speed, as we see now Mateus Hurdy on the 5.5, 19 1/4. Every time I say those numbers, I hear the soundtrack in my head. I see Andy Irons surfing giant waves on the North Shore on a tiny board.
Owen.
Our first look at Owen Wright on the dumpster diver. Why is it called a dumpster diver? Well, Dane Reynolds found an EPS blank in the dumpster behind Channel Islands, and he basically cut out the initial shape himself, just whacked the tail off straight, and then went on to get second place at the 2009 Hurley Pro. And then everyone in the world ordered a dumpster diver, including me. And Owen Wright, who just did a nice backside air.
I don't know. I have a feeling, although he surfed that board super well, he could ride anything.
Yeah, they all could, right? Yeah. Or Dane Reynolds, you're saying?
I'm saying Dane Reynolds. You see Stephanie, ever so smooth, the queen of snapper.
The queen of style.
Look at that. I would really like to see surfers swap out a board.
We should message the beach announcers and say, surprise, everybody switch. Leah Dawson again, arguably your current heat leader.
I want to see Mateus Hurdy on the Alaya. I'd love to see Silvana on that 5.5, 19 1/4. Be really cool to see someone, a regular footer, maybe on the Jerry Lopez.
Do you have
Can we see that?
do you have Jose and Ellen's text
Negatory.
number?
Negativo.
Number? 17 minutes to go. Impossible to pick a winner. I think the biggest winner in this heat is Strider Wasilewski, who's basically got a front row seat to the ultimate VIP experience. Strider, the lineup right now, you can just feel it. It's full of joy, full of energy. But the stakes are, if you win this heat, you get to pick any board you want. Can you start? Are we starting to see any of these surfers taking this thing a little bit more seriously as time starts to go?
It's going to be hard to pick a board, though. Like, which board are you going to take home?
You said Pipeliner. I got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pipeliner is obviously the most collectible out of the group, but I think the MR Twin.
That's pretty
Gosh,
sweet.
I don't know,
Did you
man.
see
This is tough.
The Campbell brothers, that board looks sick. It's a bonzer. The thing is flowing through the water like a hot knife through butter. I mean, Leia's obviously a great surfer, but that board looks like you could just let that thing go on autopilot and you'd just be ripping.
All right, I'm changing my pick to the Bonzer. You sold me on that one.
And actually, the Black Beauty, that board is just a prized possession, just of the memory banks of all surfers who grew up.
Is it
in
weird
the
to
80s.
see? Is it weird to see a goofy footer on a Black Beauty?
Well, it is, and
Is it better?
for
Yes,
that reason alone, we're going to stay away from the Black Beauty.
Strides. Now, if you won one of these boards, would you keep it in the garage or would you actually have it in your living room?
No, I would wax up the Pipeliner and be out there on a second reef day and just glide right in and arc up in a huge barrel at Pipeline.
All right, Strider, enjoy that front row seat. You got the ultimate VIP experience. Best job in the world, and you've been crushing it all day long. Thank you for your enthusiasm. 15:30 to go. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the culmination of the ultimate superheat. This is the Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session, and we'll be back with more. Buenas tardes. You're watching the Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session. And even when you just film the legs, you know exactly who it is. The telltale style of the one and only Stephanie Gilmore.
So
oh my gosh, just the pullout. That was amazing.
Matteo Terdi on the 5.519 and a quarter.
I would not be a judge of this. Now, I was asking to be a judge, but now I'm glad that I'm not. Because this one's, everyone wins. We're all winning just by watching this. Mateus Hardy.
Go into the air. Let's see what he can do.
An alley-oop.
Beautiful little alley-oop on the inside section. This board I wouldn't be surprised if he chooses to ride this in a heat. He's looking just as good.
2 airs on 1 wave. Mateus Hardy. This guy absolutely crushing it.
Safe to say
Sab High event.
Safe to say that he is the new generation of Brazilian surfers.
Oh yeah. The Brazilian Storm is by no means losing steam. And he's adding a lot of fire to that incredible squad, as we see Owen Wright on the dumpster diver.
Also cool to see surfers. Most of these surfboards don't have a tail pad on them. So sometimes, you know, surfing with a tail pad for so long, you kind of get used to that feel. But Owen Wright having absolutely no issue. Waves looking really good, Chris, with this high tide.
Yeah, this is, if you're gonna have an expression session, these are the waves you want to have it in. It's perfect out there. It's super fun.
Oh, they're swapping.
A lot of waves coming through. That's what we wanted to see. Is Strider still in the channel? I think Strider had to come in for the post show.
I'm still
No,
here.
Strider is still in the channel. Strider,
I'm still here.
we're seeing some swapping going on. Give us the news.
People are taking boards from each other. They're fighting over boards right now.
It's anarchy.
There's pin punches thrown.
See, we knew they were going to end up wrestling for
Actually,
these boards.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ryan Callanan said that he feels like he could surf that board in a heat, but he feels like he should surf it like the era that it was made in. How's that? I love that.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of a showing. Oh, and now we've got Stephanie Gilmore on the Simon Anderson thruster. She'll make any board look good. But that board right there, even just the iconic airbrush, you can just tell exactly what it is at first sight.
I love this event. I'm just smiling, looking at the screen, really enjoying the way these surfers that we're used to seeing on thrusters, high-performance boards, surf these iconic surfboards. And this is an example, the MR, now under Ryan Cal's feet.
So Ryan Callanan, nice extended MR style. If you can maybe look at it in a mirror, you would see some flashes of MR with Ryan Callanan right now.
I love that cutty. A little bit of Mike Glossness in there as well. Just super stylish, extending his legs. Mikey out the back.
Mikey's not giving up his Andy
I was
Irons
going to
board.
say, he hasn't swapped. I think he's not going to until he lands that big air.
I'd love to see him get the section. Here it goes. The AI shout out for Mikey Wright. Will he get the double grab? He does! Mikey Wright! That right there is an iconic moment, a recreation of Andy Irons' incredible air in 2006 that got him the big victory here. I mean, that is special on so many levels.
Oh, going more vertical.
Whoa,
She's starting
watch
to feel
out.
more comfortable on this board. This is Caroline Marks.
And you know all of these surfers have messed around on different types of boards, but Caroline Marks right now is pushing the performance level of this Jerry Lopez lightning bolt shaped by Alex Lopez to the limit.
And that angle even makes it look cooler how she actually glides by. You can see her stance a little bit narrower. Playing around with her footing, obviously the board not having a pad, making it kind of tricky to know how far back you can place that back foot. But Caroline Marks clearly looking much better than on her first few rides.
All right, get your screenshots ready. This right here is an iconic moment. Mikey Wright with the ultimate shout out to the legendary Andy Irons. The air that got him the win of this event, the air that landed him on the cover of Transworld Surf in 2006.
The air that could potentially give Mikey Wright $5,000 and a new surfboard.
All right, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, Mikey Wright wins for the men, Caroline Marks wins for the women.
Ooh.
Because you got to take into consideration how hard it is to do the turns that Caroline's doing on that pipeliner board. Strider, I just made a call. I'm saying Mikey Wright won for men, Caroline Marks for women. We still have 750 to go, so that can all switch. What do you think of those picks?
I mean, I think you're pretty damn close on that. I mean, the Mikey Wright double grab on the inside just now to AI. I mean, I get the chill. I'm just getting choked up just thinking about it. I mean, I was here when he won, and for him to give that tribute to him and think about all he wanted to do was stick that air for Andy Irons. I mean, it's insane. And then Caroline Marks is paddling back out. She's had a couple dirty looks, though, from fellow competitors. She's getting a lot of waves.
Yeah, they want a piece of that pipeliner for sure. Most people are sharing. But as you see, Mikey Wright jumps
Yeah,
on the ski,
Mikey!
gets back out there.
Yeah, Mikey!
The Red Bull ski coming into play now, and that's basically, we haven't had any jet ski assist throughout the contest now, but guess what? This is a whole new event, the first time ever. Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session.
Nice waves out the back, Chris. I feel like, you know, if you think of a wave ideal, iconic already for this type of competition, it would have to be Barra, as we see Lea. Little cheeky cross-step look back. Like
Spinner.
180 spin. Now, was that
No, we're not going to argue about that spin. That was a 360. Again, you and I are going to wrestle later. Tatiana Weston Webb on the Black Beauty. It looks, it's pretty cool because you saw the first wave she rode and it was like, whoa, what am I doing? And she's already figured it out. She knows exactly where to put her feet. Silvana Lima showing us how difficult. Silvana's going, does anybody want to trade? Anybody trade?
I would. If I was Silvana, I would swap that board with this guy right here who's having an absolute field day. That board is arguably the most similar surfboard to his normal equipment.
Yeah, that's why he is definitely ripping the hardest out of this whole crew, but points deducted because this board is so functional. I mean, people still, to this day, will order a 5.5 19.25 from Mapiolas all day long. So that board right there was super futuristic back then and totally relevant right now. Strider Wasilewski, 5:30 to go. Can you think of any other surfboard in the world that you could name just by the numbers, just by the dimensions, other than a 5.5 19.25?
Absolutely not. I mean, honestly, the movie, the board, the legacy, the surfers that were riding that board then, and now to have like a surfer like Mateus Herede, who is one of the top performers and technical surfers in the world right now, that's what that board was all about. It was taking the best surfers in the world, putting them on a board that was a retro, and then watching their adaptation to it and seeing how well they did on it, and then they just ripped the heck out of it, and that's what Herede is doing. So it's just all these flashbacks are coming up into my life, and I love it. And I think it's really fun. And, Andy Irons just keeps coming into my head. God bless him and the family. And to see a board that he rode, the 5.5, the Mayhem, it's just an incredible thing to be out here and see all these people having the best time of their lives. These guys are literally haven't stopped smiling, are laughing and screaming at each other and hooting for each other. So big shout out to Quiksilver and this Legacy board session.
Yeah, this is an all-time kind of halftime break. We're basically halfway through this competition, so it's nice to end day two with on such a high note. Of course, we're potentially getting back to the business at hand tomorrow morning. I'm sure they'll be addressing the forecast in the post-show, which is coming up. So we do have a lot of entertainment for all of you surf fans out there still yet to come. 4 minutes on the clock now. More board swaps happening. Caroline Marks switching with Owen Wright, I believe. So now Caroline Marks will be on the dumpster diver, Owen Wright on the pipeliner. 3:44 to go. Our guest celebrity judges, two Mexican rippers, Alan Robledo and Jose Ramirez. No pressure, guys. This is only the biggest heat of the decade.
$5,000 and a brand new, beautiful, iconic surfboard. That's what one of these surfers is going to walk away with. One on the men's, one on the women's, as we see some cheeky free surfers already ready to get out there.
Well, we've got Joe Turpel getting ready for the post show. I'm just going to throw it out there. Joe, what board are you picking? All right. Joe's picking the AI shout out.
For the winner or for the board he would choose to take home?
All right. We're getting some information from the top right now. The judges are saying they agree with what I said. Caroline Marks and Mikey Wright in the lead for now, but 2 minutes and 54 seconds. There's still time. That is not official. It's very, very unofficial for now.
Only fair, only fair. See Stephanie Gilmore, now Kaipo Guerrero walking into the booth. Kaipo, which board would you pick to take home with you? Owens. Yeah.
Everybody's
Absolutely.
picking the pipeliner. Yeah.
Most goofy footers go for that Jerry Lopez board.
Arcal on the MR board. There's a Newcastle connection for you. Come on. What's a more iconic board from Newcastle? There is none. MR Twin. 2 minutes to go. Arcal trying to put his name in the books as the first ever winner. And now Owen Wright on a pipeliner.
Oh, that light looking so good.
I would love to see Owen Wright on that board. An 8-foot pipeline.
Cheeky cheater 5 maybe on the inside.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Style bandit. Adios.
Good times. We're talking about good times here. If you're just joining us, I'm sorry, you've missed something completely awesome and unique. The Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session. 40 minutes. The greatest show in surf.
Snips is out there.
What? See, I told you the wild cards have taken over the day. We saw it happen in the actual event, and now we're seeing it happen in the Icons of Surf event. Mike Snips Parsons. And he is riding a Mayhem, I believe.
He's riding
and
his
that's
own
fine.
Iconic surfboard.
That's his, yeah, that's his own. And Strider Wasilewski's now in the mix. We told you there are no rules here. Strider, can you talk us through it? Can you hear me? I'd love to hear Strider. Strider is, I will say, Strider is the best on-wave commentator there is. Corky Carroll is right there with him, but Strider is the best there is at on-wave commentary.
Tati on the inside on the Black Beauty. Look at this. Ooh, cheeky looking float on the inside. Mikey Wright, so far. Oh my goodness. If he hadn't already solidified his win with a barrel like that.
Crown him. Crown him already. 26 seconds to go. And it is not going to be official until our celebrity guest judges make it official. Two absolute legends.
3, 2,
yeah, with a nice soul arch out the back, clean cutty. Look at that.
And
so
that's it. Now it's up to our celebrity judges, Alan Robledo and Jose Ramirez, who have been working hard as our beach announcers, giving the surfers all the pertinent information they need. Will it be Mikey Wright doing the impossible, recreating almost as high, but recreating that iconic Andy Irons aerial? Judges are still deliberating. Everybody just hold your horses. This thing's not over yet.
It's a tough call. You see Shelby Detmers and Regina Pioli getting a little bit of extra time before the sun sets here at Barra.
Oh, it's free surf time. Beach is open. The beach is open.
So fun out there right now.
All right, the pressure is mounting. Ladies and gentlemen,
there it is.
It is confirmed the winner of the first ever Quiksilver Icons of Surf Super Session. Our male winner, Mikey Wright. Our female winner, Caroline Marks.
And look at that smile. How could you not with that beard and that hairdo and now a new surfboard?
Woo. Well, who gets to pick first now? Did the judges say that? I would say ladies first, right? Ladies first?
Well, judging on the fact that he actually got the ride on the motorcycle on the quad out and didn't let the girls take it, I feel he's going to be forced to let Caroline take her pick first.
I would think after such a sentimental performance from Mikey Wright on that board, they had a real connection there. He might have to take that one home.
Well, before they actually started the event, he was already eyeing that JS, so...
it was a raffle, except for Mikey. He said, I'm riding this one, and nobody argued. What a moment there. The Wright brothers competing together for potentially one of the last times, as Mikey did announce that he's going the free surfer route, at least for the time being.
You got to get in there.
I'm not getting it.
That's a great moment.
Get in there, Chanel. I'll take one.
No.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to get back to the business of having fun in the official Corona post show. You've been watching the Corona Open Mexico presented by Quiksilver, and we will be right back.